following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello, and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show presented by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins, and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode of the Box Score Breakdown Show is brought to you by the Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Neil, I just got my Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company, and I'm pretty excited about it, man. In fact, I could not wait for morning. I ripped open the bag and I made myself the first cup of coffee. Neil, when you first rip open that bag, yes. put your nose right above that bag. Take a strong whiff, and I'm telling you, man, it smells like heaven on earth. I wanted to crawl into that bag and just live in there, man. It is amazing stuff. You guys, go get some coffee. Go to HawaiianIsles.com. You can also find it on Amazon. Go get some coffee, guys. It's some good stuff. All right, Neil, what have you been up to, man? How are you since the last time I talked to you?
Oh, gosh, pretty much the same. Some blowouts tonight. I was trying to watch some basketball earlier, and I was going to turn on some fourth quarters. Like my Bulls got crushed by Oklahoma City. Not too unexpected, I guess. OKC's a much better team, but a lot of these blowouts tonight. I was hoping, it's just frustrating when your player is not going to play the fourth quarter because they're either getting blown out or they're up big, and it's just we've got. I think of the 6 games that are completed, we have 2 close games and 4 one-sided games. So kind of a boring night in fantasy. And unless you're a betting person, you bet the right side. It's kind of a slow night. Anyway, not much else. I never realize it's Christmas season until the day before. So I kind of forget. Yeah, a couple people today told me Merry Christmas. I'm like, oh yeah, Christmas is coming. I totally forgot. Yeah.
It's funny. The other day, Sunday, I was doing some Christmas shopping with my wife, and we were in line, and the woman in front of us reminded me that Christmas is next week. And so, it's getting to that point where if you like to do online shopping, it's getting to the point where you can't order anything online because it's going to take too long to ship. So we're getting down to the wire, man. Do you got a lot of shopping to do, or are you done?
Oh, I just have a lot of coffee I need to buy. Give it out as gifts. No, I do not have any more. Actually, I do have a little shopping, but it's really easy. It's I have to shop for young people, and they now register, so you can just basically it's no more a surprise, and so you can just go and figure out what they want and just buy. It's kind of just crazy. It just takes the whole fun out of it, but. Anyway, they get what they want. So
nice.
All right. Any thing else before we dive into basketball?
I can't think of anything worthy, news or notes worthy. No big news that I can think of. Should we dive into it? I believe it's your turn.
Yeah, it is my turn. So let's go to. I've got Milwaukee, Detroit, game 1. This was actually one of the close ones. Milwaukee wins 107-104 on the road. Let's see. Start off with Giannis, 32, 12, 5 assists, 15 of 21 shooting. Great for him. Did not make a three-pointer, unfortunately. Struggles a bit in that category. 2 for 2 from the line, so good there. Did have 6 turnovers, so 9 caddy. He's dropped. He's a little bit lower than an A cat. 2 blocks. Go to Bledsoe next. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists. This is great point guard numbers. 7 of 16 from the field. He did struggle from the line tonight. 2 of 5, 1 3-pointer, 2 steals, and a turnover. Chris Middleton looks like he's always right in the head again, or whatever it was. Played 37 minutes, scored 22 points on 7 of 16 shooting, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 of 6 from the line, 3 3-pointers, a steal, single turnover, no blocks. Brook Lopez gets the start, plays 29 minutes, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 1 of 4 shooting. 5 blocks though, so that's worth its weight in gold. A steal as well, and a 3-pointer. Tony Snell gets a start for an injured Malcolm Brogdon. I don't think it's serious, kind of a last-second scratch. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 3-pointers, a steal, and a block. Off the bench, Sterling Brown plays 26 minutes, 9-3-3. I guess he can be someone you can look at for deeper leagues. Don't have him on my radar, nor do I have DJ Wilson or George Hill. Let's see. I thought George Hill might be a sneaky DFS play tonight with Brogdon out. Obviously, that is not the case. It doesn't look like he's going to have much of a role on this team. So that's the one barometer I take away. Other than that, not much else here except the Bucks had a nice road win. Any thoughts from you on Milwaukee?
No thoughts from me on Milwaukee. You pretty much nailed everything. We pretty much know who the main guys are here. I'm going to jump over to the other side. Going to look at the Detroit Pistons, and I'm going to start with Blake Griffin. Neil, he had a quadruple double, 19 points, 10 turnovers, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. The turnovers are ugly, but you'll still take the triple double. Shot 9 of 12 from the line, 2 of 7 from downtown, 4 of 13 from the field. So really hurt you tonight with the field goal percentage and also hurt you with the turnovers. Andre Drummond with a double-double, 10 points, 14 rebounds, and assists, a steal. No blocks, which is pretty disappointing, and also shot pretty poorly. 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. Reggie Bullock, I wish I knew when this guy was going to show up. I just, tomorrow night maybe we'll give you nothing. But tonight he definitely had it going on. 24 points and assists, 3 rebounds. He had 5 threes tonight, 9 of 14 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. Reggie Jackson, here we go, man. The up and down roller coaster that is Reggie Jackson. 11 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. He had a 3, 5 of 11 from the field. Kennard with just 3 points, 2 rebounds in 23 minutes. He did also add a 3. Stanley Johnson had a nice game off of the bench. Had 20 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, a block. He shot 8 of 14, 4 of 7 from downtown. Another guy that I wish we knew exactly when he was going to have a good game. Tomorrow night could maybe give you nothing. So I don't think we're trusting Stanley Johnson or Reggie Bullock or Langston Galloway, who had 5 points here tonight in 23 minutes. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Pistons?
Let's look at Blake Griffin. His turnovers have been just killing him this year. His field goal percent is okay, 46%, 46.5%. But the four turnovers a game, he drops from 28th and 8 cat to 60 something and 9 cat because of that. So that's unfortunate. I will say Reggie Jackson, if you need a point guard to pick one up, he's going to hurt you in his field goal percent and in rebounds and blocks. Other than that, though, he's pretty decent for a point guard. And like you said, all these wing players are just not worth owning unless you can time it right, from Bullock to Johnson to Kennard now and Galloway and anyone else they put in there. So avoiding all the wings in Detroit. Okay, game 2. I'm going to hop on to, unless you want to jump in and say anything else about the Pistons.
Super quick, just want to add, I completely agree with you that Blake Griffin is just crushing you with the turnovers. It sucks. But if I just had to try to be somewhat optimistic, I love the assists. He had 11 assists tonight, and I think the turnovers are due to he's facilitating a lot more. So his assist numbers have gone up, but those turnovers go up as well. So, I guess it's like a double-edged sword. You're kind of excited that he's going to give you some assists, and then he's going to kill you with the turnovers. Anyways, just wanted to add that.
Yeah, a lot of the offense does run through him, and whenever that happens, turnovers are high. All right, let's go to Phoenix against New York. The Suns get a nice road win. 128-110. It looks like they have not incorporated Oubre yet or Austin Rivers. So same starting lineup as before. This kind of gets a little more crowded. Start with Devin Booker, who's back. 37 minutes, just a great line from him. 38 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 11-23 shooting, 14 of 15 from the line, 2 3-pointers and 2 steals, and just committed 1 turnover. TJ Warren, he's a staple out there. I know we're a little worried about him taking a hit, but I just think he's too important to this team, especially if they're trying to win. 39 minutes tonight, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. 11 of 18 shooting. He's always been solid from the field. He's shooting 52% from the field, including 4 3-pointers, 3 steals, 2 blocks. For my money, I may want him over Booker. I know it's kind of crazy, but we'll see how this plays out this year. DeAndre Ayton, nice bounce-back game for him. He's kind of been struggling a bit. Tonight, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Enes Kanter is not known for his defense. 8 of 14 from the field for him. 5 of 5 from the line. Great to see perfect shooting from the line. He's actually pretty solid on the year, though, 77% for a big man. No defensive stats, unfortunately, for him. DeAnthony Melton still starting at point guard, 21 minutes tonight. Struggled, though. Just 1 of 4 from the field, 3 points, a rebound, 2 assists, 3-pointer, and a steal. Off the bench, Josh Jackson. We'll see what happens. I think he's going to fall away. You know, currently he is not really worth owning. He's had some streamable minutes, though. The last couple weeks tonight, 14, 7, and 3. 2 of 4 from the line, though. 2 3-pointers and a block. Jamal Crawford saw 26 minutes, got 14 assists here. That's probably just fool's gold, along with Troy Daniels, Dragan Bender. One guy, though, I know at Hoop Ball we all like here, at least the powers that be like. I'm a little skeptical. Rashawn Holmes got 19 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist on 6 of 7 shooting, and 2 blocks. So his field goal percentage is going to be very good on low volume. His blocks are going to be good. Very low turnover guy. Tonight did not have any. But I just don't like to see the 4 rebounds. I wanted my big man to get rebounds as well. So maybe I'm just asking too much. I am holding off on Rashawn Holmes. I know over the last, 2 weeks, he is 104. So he's there. He is worth owning, but I don't know how it's going to play out. What are your thoughts on the Phoenix Suns?
I think they're going to get their new guys, their new boys back or in the lineup on Wednesday. And then it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I love your take on TJ Warren. In fact, I think out of all of the guys, Warren's going to be the safest. I mean, of course, Booker as well. But Warren's, I still feel like, is going to be pretty solid, even when they get Kelly Oubre and Austin Rivers. I think that it's going to be Mikal Bridges, Josh Jackson, DeAnthony Melton. These guys are going to take the big hits. And I'm really worried for all 3 of these guys. So I love Rashawn Holmes, man. I mean, 13 points, 2 blocks, 4 rebounds in just 19 minutes. Could you imagine if he would just get 30 minutes? His line would be ridiculous. And I am really happy, though, that DeAndre Ayton played nice tonight next to Devin Booker, the big double-double with the 21 points and 13 rebounds. But it just sucks that Rashawn Holmes can't get a little bit more minutes here. But anyways, I don't think it's going to happen, man. All right, Neil, should I jump into the other side of this game?
Yes, let's move on to the Knicks.
The Knicks, Kevin Knox keeping his foot on the gas pedal. The shooting wasn't super great. Was only 6 of 16 for 17 points. No defensive stats, no assists, 5 rebounds. So, Neil, on the last show, I said what's going to make Kevin Knox somewhat of a rocky road is the poor shooting percentage, which we saw tonight, and his inability to fill it up in some of these other categories, which we also saw tonight with the no defensive stats, no assists. But seeing big minutes, getting pretty nice usage, took the second most shots out of anyone on this team. I think you got to keep rolling with Kevin Knox. Did also provide some threes, had 2 of them, so we'll take it. Moutier, I missed out on this guy, man. I really wish I picked him up in a league. I didn't get him anywhere. 32 points. 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 12 of 21 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown, 6 of 7 from the line. He's been pretty good lately. Keep him locked and loaded. Enes Kanter with 13 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 4 of 11 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line. Courtney Lee getting the start here. Where's this guy been? 12 points, 4 rebounds, no defensive stats or assists, but did have a 3, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. Just when you thought it was safe to roll with Vonleh, he plays 17 minutes tonight and puts up somewhat of a stinker with only 3 points. Did have 7 rebounds and a steal, but man, I was expecting a lot more, especially when you see that they're playing, when they have such a cupcake matchup against the Suns. You're just really hoping that he's going to feast. It did not happen tonight. Ntilikina with 9 points in 29 minutes. Trey Burke with 4 points, 2 steals, 2 assists in 24 minutes. Hazonia showing some signs of life. 14 points, 5 rebounds in 17 minutes off the bench. Not too much else to talk about. Neil, how do you feel about the Knicks?
Yeah, it looks like Vonleh had 3 fouls there in the 17 minutes, so he was might have got in trouble early and never got really back in the game. Hardaway, I don't know if you mentioned he was out tonight. That's why Courtney Lee got the start. It was kind of a last-minute scratch. I think he's probably going to be okay. Mitchell Robinson also out and Damian Dotson out. So a little hurt along with Alonzo Trier. So the Knicks aren't great to begin with, and some of these guys missing. So maybe that's explains them getting crushed at home. I will say you're right about Moutier. He has been looking great. Trey Burke, though, is back. I know he only played 4 minutes tonight, but at one point he was sort of the go-to guy. He played 24 minutes tonight. Got 4 points. We'll see how this plays out between him and Moutier. Right now, tonight did not affect Moutier. I want to wait and see, just because I can't trust this rotation. Anyway, anything else before I go on to Game 3?
Nope.
All right, I've got Houston against the Rockets. Utah against the Rockets. I'm going to start on the Jazz side. They lose 97-102. Start with Donovan Mitchell. Had a solid night in 39 minutes. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Struggle from shooting, though. 8 of 22 from the field. 2 3-pointers, 3 steals, 4 turnovers. Rudy Gobert, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Solid night from him. He went 6 of 6 from the line. Great for him. 6 out of 10 from the field. 1 steal and 3 blocks. Jay Crowder gets a start. Double-doubles with 14 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist. 5 of 5 from the line, 3 3-pointers, and 2 turnovers. Adrian, my guy, Joe Ingles, has been struggling. I have him in Games Cap League. I think I'm going to bench him. It's just been too hard, too painful. 5 points on 2 of 5, 2 of 6 shooting. He's also struggling from the line. 0 of 2 tonight. He's now down to 58% from the free throw line on the year. I'm not sure what's going on. 2 rebounds, 6 assists, no defensive stats. So he is just in a funk. This is the one thing that bothers me about guys like Ingles or like Slow-Mo out in Memphis is they're not athletic as their counterparts. So if the other things aren't going, they can just get blown by, and other guys can step up. Tonight off the bench, it was other guys who played more minutes or played a lot of minutes, like Exum, O'Neal, Corver. So not sure what to do about Ingles. I may just sit him on bench until he seems to come around. If he does, Ricky Rubio played 35 minutes, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 5 of 10 shooting, 2 3-pointers and a steal, 7 turnovers though. So kills you there, 9 cat. Dante Exum played 20 minutes. Royce O'Neal 18, Derek Favors 16. Corver 13. The only thing I'm taking away is my own self-pity party about Ingles. Not sure what else to take here. Favors and Crowder seem to split the starting time or starting lineup. So depending on the matchup, I don't want to own either of them right now. And that's about it on the Jazz. What are your thoughts?
Have you heard this rumor that the Jazz might be interested in Jabari Parker?
Oh my God, no.
There's a rumor going around that the Jazz could possibly be interested in Parker, and I just want to bang my head against the wall, Neil. If they trade for Parker, or if they somehow get Parker, I will scream, man. I will. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it doesn't come to anything. But, we know the Jazz have been somewhat of a disappointment. So maybe they are looking to shake things up a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. And then pretty happy to see Donovan Mitchell get the 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. I really want to see him start doing more than just score the ball. So pretty happy to see that from Donovan Mitchell. All right, going to jump over to the Rockets. Going to start with James Harden. Great googly moogly, Neil. 47 points, 5 steals, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 out of 12 from downtown, 4 of 31 from the field, 5 of 16 from the line. Neil, if you count turnovers, he had a 5-by-5 line. Yes, he had a 5-by-5 line if you count turnovers, but you really don't want to count turnovers when you're doing that. So anyways, Chris Paul, 11 points, 4 steals, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Eric Gordon, nice, pretty decent game from him. 12 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, had 2 threes, 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. A PJ Tucker game, all right. 16 points, 2 rebounds, a block, 4 threes tonight, 6 of 9 from the field. Clint Capella did not score the ball tonight. Only 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting, but had a monster 5 block, 3 steal defensive game, 14 rebounds. So you're still pretty happy if you were rolling with a Clint Capella. House had 4 points off the bench. Nene had 4. Brandon Knight played and had 3 points off the bench, but not too much else to talk about. Neil, what do you think of the Rockets?
My only thoughts are I've had James Harden in my headline like 5 times already this season, and he's got to be in there again. He just keeps doing this. It's crazy. I had the best fantasy night so far. We'll see if anyone else surpasses that. But PJ Tucker, despite tonight, he's now 138th overall in ACAT league. So I haven't wanted to pick him up, and I still won't pick him up after tonight's game. Eric Gordon, it's nice to see him actually putting up some decent statistics, if you want to call them that. Not much else. Not much else here, unfortunately.
Neil,
yeah,
I have some breaking news on Twitter. This is serious. This is not a joke. I know you're expecting me to say.
I thought you were gonna do
crazy.
like a Kona coffee.
Breaking news on Twitter. I'm seeing this from a bunch of places. The Suns have agreed to a buyout with Austin Rivers. The DeAnthony Melton train is back on, baby. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so interesting. Yes, I'm seeing that as well. Wow, interesting. Okay, the Anthony Melton train is still chugging along. We'll see how much value it can give, but it certainly helps. One less backcourt player there. All right, should we go on to the next game? Thanks for mentioning that.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that was great. Sacramento, Minnesota. Okay, one of the blowouts I see here going on. Minnesota just crushes Sacramento. They're off a back-to-back, so maybe they're a little tired. 132-105. Jeff Teague, a late scratch, to not play. They didn't need that many minutes. Covington still saw 36 minutes. Gotta love Tibbs. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for him. 4 of 9 shooting, 3 of 3 from the field. 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, and a block. Covington, the real deal. Taj Gibson is back at the start. Double-double, 12 points, 10 minutes, 10 rebounds, 2 assists on 6 of 12 shooting. Had a block. 7 offensive rebounds. That's very impressive. Karl-Anthony Towns, 14 of 14 with 3 assists, 2 of 2 from the line. Had 3 blocks as well, along with 2 3-pointers. Andrew Wiggins played 27 minutes, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 10. Nice to see him shoot well from the free throw line, 8 of 8, along with a steal. Derrick Rose gets the start in place of Teague. Plays 24 minutes, 13 points, 11 assists, 2 rebounds. Struggled a bit from the field, 3 of 12, 6 of 8 from the line, a three-pointer. Josh Okogie got 28 minutes, 10, 3, and 3 with 2 steals and a block. Tyus Jones in relief, 24 minutes, 10 points, 10 assists himself. Great double-double for him, 3 rebounds, 5 of 7 shooting, 2 steals. Gorgie Jang played 21 minutes, 15 and 8. Saric off the bench, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. What can we say about Minnesota? They're up and down as well tonight, getting a nice win here. Covington, I think he's 30th on the year in 8-cat league, and I think he's going to stay there. Towns is finally back into the top 10. He's solid at 8. Derrick Rose, 72nd overall per game basis. Outplaying Jeff Teague, and maybe that's going to continue. Teague has been a bit of a disappointment this year. And Wiggins at 112. Not really touching the Sarge Gibson issue right now, splitting time. I don't know. Derrick Rose, I think he could hold late round value, I think. He's been phenomenal this year. Not really much else to say. I wouldn't really buy on any of these guys, but it's good to see them competitive out there. And since the Butler trade, I think they've been one of the better defenses in the league. So not much fantasy-wise from the Timberwolves. What are your thoughts?
I love what you just said about them improving from a defensive standpoint and being one of the better defensive teams in the league. And I think Robert Covington needs to get a lot of credit for that. And I think because of that, I think he needs to get some nods, some first team defense nods, because they were an awful defensive team before he got there. So I think I got to give Robert Covington some props. And I agree on your take, man. The Taj Gibson, Saric, I've seen Saric hit the wires in some leagues, and I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. So it's a disappointment that they're kind of canceling each other out. Yeah. All right, Neil, did we, is it my turn to do the Kings?
Oh.
Did we do the Kings?
Yeah. No, I messed up. Yep. You're trying to do the Kings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I didn't miss it. Okay. Buddy Hield, 21 points, an assist, a rebound, 5 threes tonight, 7 of 13 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. I don't know what happened to De'Aaron Fox. In fact, Neil, maybe you could check and see if there's been an injury. He only played 6 minutes here tonight and gave goose. I had him in my lineups in like 3 or 4 of my leagues. So this killed me here tonight, but only 6 minutes. Neil, we were just bragging about how insane De'Aaron Fox has been this year, how great he's been. So this is a blip. I'm not going to read too much into this. I don't know what happened. Hey, they're coming off a back-to-back. Maybe he just wasn't feeling right. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out some more information. Bogdanovich with just 5 points, 2 rebounds in 10 minutes. Man, a lot of their starters here just played really low minutes. It looks like they really went to the bench in this one. Cauley Stein only got 7 minutes. Bjelica with 5 minutes. It was the bench getting all of the run here. So this is really interesting. Scal got 9 points. Jackson with 11 points. Yogi Ferrell, who hasn't even been playing, really got 16 points, 3 assists. I don't think we're really counting on any of these bench guys here. It's just a really crazy game from the Kings standpoint. Neil, what are you seeing on your end? What do you think of this?
Oh, it was just a blowout. They were down 30. They were down 30 in the second quarter. So they didn't roll the starters back in. That's all it is.
Okay.
Bjelica 5 minutes, Cauley Stein 7. You're right, Fox 6. None of these guys were injured. They were all just maybe the coach noticed they weren't playing well, or for whatever reason, he just decided not to play them the rest of the day.
You know what? They are coming off of a back-to-back, so maybe once they started getting blown out early, just as you said, maybe the coach was like, you know what, guys, just take the night off. Let's roll with the bench here. But real quick, I just want to say, man, you and I, we've talked about how much we love De'Aaron Fox this year. Think he's going to be great. Buddy Hield, man, what an exciting young backcourt. Fox and Hield together. This is insane. This is great. And, the coach of the Kings made a statement today that he thinks Fox and Bagley are going to be the next Westbrook and Durant. And I thought that was pretty insane for him to say that, because Bagley's got a long way to go before he's anything close to Kevin Durant. And to Aaron Fox, for how outstanding he's been, Russell Westbrook is a different kind of animal. So a really crazy statement from Coach Yeager. All right, Neil, any thoughts on the Kings in general before we move on?
Well, in this game, we can't take much away, unfortunately. I will say Fox is much closer to Westbrook than I thought. Well, I watched some of those highlights. He's on pace to get there. Let's just say that. It wouldn't surprise me a couple years down the road. He's in that category. Bagley, I'm not sure where that comparison comes in, because he's not shooting 3-pointers. Anyway.
No. Kevin Durant may be one of the most complete offensive players in the history of the NBA. He can do it from anywhere on the court. Threes, inside game, floaters, post up, dunks. He can do it all. Marvin Bagley does not have that complete game yet. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe he sees something in Bagley that he thinks he can get there one day, but he's definitely nowhere near Kevin Durant's level right now.
You know, the other day, Yeager took he didn't take a shot, but he really complimented Luka Doncic. So I wonder if he felt guilty and he wanted to talk his guy up, because obviously they didn't get Doncic. You know, like, I wonder if it got interpreted the other way. So anyway, maybe he was just trying to be nice to Bagley. But they're a great team this year. They've been fun to watch. All right, let's go on to Chicago, Oklahoma City. I'm going to do the right team this time, and that's the Chicago Bulls. They lose 96-121. Let's see. Who is back? Chris Dunn is back. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, a steal. He was a little stunted in his opportunity tonight because of the blowout. I think he is going to finish. He's going to climb the ranks and get, let's hope, inside the top 50. Certainly inside the top 70, I believe, in ACAT leagues without too much trouble. Justin, let's go next with Lauri Markkanen. Had the best night of the night. 16 points, 15 rebounds, 6 of 17 from the field, 3 of 4 shooting, 3-pointer, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Justin Holiday, quiet night from him. 3 of 10 shooting, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Did have 2 blocks and 3 3-pointers. Wendell Carter Jr. Got in foul trouble, I believe. 5 fouls in 19 minutes. He's getting called a lot. Clearly not getting whatever the opposite is of the getting the refs calling fouls for your favor. He gets calls fouled against his favor. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist on 4 of 8 shooting. Ryan Arcidiacono, 23 minutes, 2 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 of 2 from the 3-point line, 0 blocks, and a steal. This guy has great heart, but he just doesn't have the talent yet to play at this level. Bobby Portis is back as well, 23 points, 16 points, 2 rebounds, no assists. So he got a fair amount in the 6-man role, which I think it's obviously going to increase with Jabari Parker no longer part of the rotation. Did have 5 turnovers, unfortunately. Cameron Payne played 22 minutes as well. Hutchinson's 19, Shaquille Harrison 18. Robin Lopez 17 minutes before he was ejected. I believe there was I don't know. I think he had a couple technicals or something. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the Bulls?
Excuse me. The big news here has got to be Zach LaVine, who has already been ruled out for at least the next 2 games here. So could even be a little longer than that. So let's keep our fingers crossed that he's not going to miss too much time. And let's see. Other than that, man, I'm really hoping that Wendell Carter Jr., as you mentioned with the fouling issue, I'm hoping he gets that worked out because, man, I just really want to see this guy start rolling here in the second half of the season. So, yeah, I'm just hoping he can get going. And that's about all I got, Neil. I'm going to go over to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Going to start with Russell Westbrook, a huge triple-double here. 13 points, 16 rebounds, 11 assists with 5 steals, 5 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. Paul George with a pretty great game himself, 24 points with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 4 threes tonight, shot 8 of 19 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Steven Adams having a solid game, 19 points, 3 steals and assists with 8 rebounds. He shot 8 of 14, 3 of 6 from the line. Jeremy Grant, 13 points with an assist, 2 rebounds, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. Ferguson had 5 points in just 14 minutes, but he got the start. Schroeder's the guy, though, that you want to own after all those guys. He had 18 points, 3 assists, a rebound, 1 3, shot a nice 6 of 10 from the field, a perfect 5 of 5 from the line. They got a little spark off the bench from Diallo, who had 10 points, and not too much else to talk about. Neil, how do you feel about the Thunder?
Yeah, another blowout game, so a little hard to read. It's nice to see these guys playing well, though. They're going to be fun come playoff time to see how they compete against the best. Tonight, they just rolled over the Bulls. It wasn't even close. It's nice to see Schroeder holding value. I was wondering how he would do with as the season continues. He's still, it looks like he's closing games, 30 minutes tonight, still able to play. Nolan's no else. Someone I know some people are talking about. I know he did get 2 blocks and a steal tonight. I'm still not willing to pick him up. But that's about it. Those 2 guys are on the fringes. Everyone else is kind of where we expect them to be. Although Paul George is outplaying everybody, so he's been phenomenal this year. All right.
Neil,
yes.
Real quick, want to add the Thunder are 1 game out of first behind Denver and Golden State, man. And this is really fun race in the Western Conference, in the Eastern Conference as well. But man, Denver, Golden State, Oklahoma City, this is just really fun to watch, and I'm really happy to see the Thunder playing well. And then super quick, I just want to add on the Bulls side, I want to make sure we don't miss anything. I'm seeing that Robin Lopez was ejected in the 3rd quarter of this game. I don't think it really made any difference from a fantasy standpoint or anything, but just want to note that.
Yeah, I mean, once the Warriors get healthy, it's going to be interesting to see how these teams can match up against them. I think there's still a chance. These teams out west are playing very well. At least I want to believe that. All right, on to Philadelphia, San Antonio. The last game before Adrian abandons me. San Antonio wins 123-96. On the Philly side, let's start with Joel Embiid. Kind of a quiet night for him. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Just shot 6 of 17 from the field. He took 6 3-pointers. I know he's been kind of complaining with Butler there. He's more having to spread out and not just sort of hang out by the bucket as much. So missed all his 3-pointers, turned the ball over 4 times, and not have a steal and a block. We'll see how this plays out as the season goes on. Jimmy Butler, 30 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Tough night for him as well. 3 of 13 from the field. Missed all his 3-pointers, 0-3, a steal, no blocks, no 3-pointers. Ben Simmons, 16, 6, and 6 with 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. No defensive stats. Wilson Chandler, 10, 5, and 4 with 3 of 7 from the field, 2 3-pointers, and a block. J.J. Redick, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on 7-11 shooting, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Off the bench, T.J. McConnell plays 26 minutes, but does not really do anything fantasy-wise. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a block. 2 turnovers. Muscala, 18 minutes. Korkmaz, unfortunately, he's relegated to the a very small role now, 18 minutes. Shamet, 17 minutes. These other guys got some playing time because it was a blowout. Amir Johnson, Milton, and Bolden. Would you sell high on Embiid? I mean, he's ninth overall in 8 cat. I'm wondering if this little friction with Butler, not sort of like any major tension, but the fact that he has to play a little bit out of his comfort zone might hurt his fantasy value. I don't own Embiid anywhere, but if I could get someone else around 9th overall, I think I might trade. Would you do that, or do you think that's kind of crazy?
Only because we put a premium on centers and the block category, which normally Joel Embiid is pretty pretty good at. Tonight did not have a single block. But I think just because, we look at elite centers as a more valuable position, I think I would hang on to him. I couldn't fault you to move him unless you definitely were getting a player back with like first round value. So, in 9 category leagues, Neil, he's the number 14 player. So he's just at the start of like that second round. Nikola Jokic is right in front of him. Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard, Giannis. So if you could get a guy like that, I wouldn't blame you for making a move. If you had any fear of how he's going to coexist with Jimmy, or maybe, he has had a lot of injury history in the past. So, maybe you just don't want to worry about that as well. I don't know. What do you think about it, Neil?
Yeah, you're right about the blocks. You're going to have to, if you're giving up a lot of block value, and you'd have to have enough on your team, especially if you're in a roto format, to hold on there. Yeah, so maybe it doesn't make sense from that perspective. I just think in a vacuum, his value may drop, I don't know, maybe half a round rest of the season. We'll see. I think it's more likely to go down than up. So anyway, do you want to head over to the San Antonio side?
Let's take a look at the Spurs. Going to start with your man, Rudy Gay, 21 points, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, shot a very efficient 10 of 18 from the field, 1 3. Great game from him. Happy to see him playing well. DeMar DeRozan with 20 points, no defensive stats, 7 assists though, 6 rebounds, 9 of 16 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. LaMarcus Aldridge with an outstanding game here. Big double-double, 20 points with 10 boards. He also added 3 blocks and 2 assists, shot a very efficient 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Great game from him. Forbes not doing much, just 6 points off the bench. Cunningham in a start gave a goose egg in 13 minutes. Bertans, 16 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, a steal. He also had 3 threes tonight, 4 6 from the field. I don't trust him. A lot of some low production on the bench. Mills with 8 points, Pirtle with 8 points, Bellinelli with 6 points, Derek White, who's just bombing, with 8 points. Neil, what do you think of the Spurs?
I've been a Rudy Gay fan for a long time now. I know the metrics, the advanced analytics do not like him, but he is, ever since actually back in Connecticut when he was playing college basketball, I started enjoying his game, and he's been solid in his entire career. So good to see him doing well. Good to see the Spurs back again. This team's, they kind of lost their shine a bit this year. They've been getting beat by lesser-known teams, and tonight they took it to Philly. So good to see that. They're going to be competitive throughout the rest of the season, I think. And fantasy-wise, not much to take away. It looks like Aldridge is starting to climb back up the ranks, 59th now, and 8-cat. Maybe he'll get back into the top 50 at some point. These other guys, though, Bryn Forbes, Patty Mills, Derek White, Jakob Portal, still watching, but can't trust any of them. So not much else to take away.
All right, Neil, I think that's the last game for me, man. I think there's 2 more left, and I'm going to have to get out of here, man. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to make myself another cup of Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company, and I'm going to stay up all night, man. I'm going to get buzzy and stay up all night.
I hope you have decaf over there. I don't even know what their entire repertoire of flavors are, but
all right.
You. I think well, yes, I'm going to try my first cup some point this week, so I will give a glowing review as mandated.
Give it a shot. You will not be disappointed. And all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Neil will be back for 2 more games. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. Love hearing from you guys. I also want to remind you guys, go get the in-season premium membership over at Hoopball. Ton of great stuff over there. So much great content. The ad drop daily advice alone is worth the price of admission. And not to mention all the other good stuff over there. Go and get it. All right, Neil, I'm out of here, man. I will see you tomorrow.
All right, on to the last 2 games of the evening. Memphis goes into Golden State and just gets Dominated. No Mike Conley. No chance really here of making it competitive. They lose 110-93. In replacement, Shelvin Mack starts. Does not do a whole lot. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. A three-pointer. No steals, no blocks, and a turnover. Jaren Jackson Jr., quiet night from him as well. He's going to have these against smarter teams, I think. 2 personal fouls, but only shot 1 of 6 for the line, from the field. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Let's go to Marcus All. The one bright spot here: 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 5 of 9 shooting, 4 from the line, a three-pointer. No defensive stats. Kyle Anderson, 14, 5, and 1 on 6 of 9 shooting. It's a great percentage there. 2 of 2 from the line, another good percentage. Missed both his free throws, no defensive stats. 2 turnovers. Garrett Temple still starting at the shooting guard spot. 25 minutes, 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 5 of 12 from the field. And what I am seeing is 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Nice to see there. Javon Carter gets 25 minutes as backup point guard. JaMychal Green, 23 minutes. Omri Caspi had a nice line off the bench, 21 minutes, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He shot 8 of 10 from the field, so very not sustainable even if he were to get this minutes. Marshawn Brooks, 19 minutes. Joakim Noah, 15 minutes. I thought this guy might be someone to keep an eye on tonight. 2, 3, and 3. I don't think he's going to have any fantasy value, but at least he's back in the league and playing some basketball. Let's see. Let's look at Memphis over the course of the year. Marcus All, 18th overall on a per-game basis. I'm looking at 9 cat right now. I tend to go 8 cat because I kind of ignore turnovers. 22nd overall in 8 cat leagues. Conley out, as mentioned, expected to come back next game. 33rd overall on a per-game basis in 8 cat. Jaren Jackson Jr., 65. I don't really think any of these guys are sell-high candidates. I think Gasol, this 22nd seems about right. This team's going to fight all season long, and it's hard to predict injury, so that's always a possibility. Conley at 33, he's having a solid year. And Jaren Jackson Jr., 65. He could climb up a little bit. He could drop off some. I think this is pretty reasonable value for all these players. JaMychal Green at 106. He's really only getting time when Jaren Jackson is not playing tonight. Just 23 minutes, 3, 4, and 1. If I forgot to mention him, did have 3 steals. Not worth owning, unfortunately, in standard leagues. And Kyle Anderson, 141. He may come into some value, but as we know, Memphis at one point was looking to acquire Kelly Oubre last week before that deal fell through. So perhaps we'll acquire another wing, and that will take into Anderson's value. And if so, Anderson is barely hanging on for value as it is this season. Could go up. We know he has the ability to fill up the stat sheet. It just has not done so in Memphis this season. On to the Golden State side. The winning side, the right side, all around. Full complement of players tonight. Steph Curry, 35 minutes tonight. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist on 6 of 16 shooting. 3 3-pointers, 5 of 5 from the line, 2 steals, and 3 turnovers. Kevin Durant, 23, 3 and 5 on 7 of 15 shooting. Perfect from the line, 8 of 8, a 3-pointer, and 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. Draymond Green played 34 minutes, 8, 8, and 4. 2 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Good to see that from him. 2 steals. Kevon Looney just played 18 minutes at center. 7 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist on 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Klay Thompson, 16, 5, and 3, 6 of 12 shooting, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, a 3-pointer, 3 steals. Jerebko played well off the bench, 26 minutes, 16, 3 and 1, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, 4 3-pointers, and a steal. Iguodala, 16 minutes, Livingston, 15, Jordan Bell, 12 minutes, including having his dunk stumped by the rim at one point. McKinney, 9, Quinn Cook, 7. On this team, we're all waiting to see when Cousins comes in and when he will take effect, and what he will do for himself and what his impact will be on his teammates. A quote from Steve Kerr: "It's still going to be some time before Cousins returns." I'm not sure what that means. It looks like he's practicing without restrictions. So from all of that, I'm not thinking it's going to be this year. I think maybe sometime in January, which is a big 31 days, so who knows when. But I would say certainly since we're about 2 weeks out from the end of the year, I don't incur saying it's still going to take some time. I would not expect him to come back this year, and then we'll see what his value is once he does return. Curry currently number 3 overall on a per-game basis. Durant 4. Those might take a hit with Cousins. Curry's averaging 5 rebounds a game. Kevin Durant 7.7. Both those values I'd imagine would come down with Cousins in there. The assists might come down as well for Kevin Durant at 6.2. Could go up though. They could have a lot of easy looks at the rim, and that could just hold steady. I'm not really worried about Klay Thompson having any decrease in value. He doesn't really do anything outside from threes and points. He's fine from the free throw line. But, he gets 4 rebounds a game, 2 assists, and a steal and a half a block. I can't imagine that changing much with another player in there. Draymond may actually even drop lower, 44 so far this year. So if you own him, you probably draft him higher. I will say you probably can't sell high on him, but I am worried even more about, scarily, his points. Because he's a guy who will defer, and Cousins is a guy who does not want to defer in scoring. So, and the rebounds as well. Those are 2 of the rebounds are a big positive for Draymond. So we'll see what happens when Cousins comes out there. And that's about it. Jerebko, Iguodala, Looney, these guys are just outside the top 200. So no need to think about streaming them unless there is some rest or injury going on in Golden State. Going on to the last game of the night, Portland beats LA Clippers 131-127. High scoring affair here, so a lot of good fantasy stats. Portland will start with Damian Lillard, 39 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 11-20 shooting, 11-13 from the free throw line, 6 3-pointers, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. CJ McCollum, a nice scoring night for him, 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 11-19 shooting, 2 3-pointers, and a block. Mo Harkless back in the starting lineup, or I should say starting minutes plus starting lineup, 30 minutes tonight, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 7 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, a 3-pointer, steal, and a block. That's kind of what we like about him. He can get 1 to 2 3-pointers a game. So far this season, he's averaging just 0.6. Steals and blocks 0.7, 0.9, but that's on 19 minutes. When he's getting 30 minutes, we can expect all of those to perhaps get above 1, which isn't great in this day and age, but it's not bad either if you need someone to stream, or if you got some dead weight and you want to take a chance on someone who might be consistent the rest of the season. I think he's going to have a consistent role. It's just a matter of those stats are going to be worth anything. Let's see over the last 2 weeks. He's climbed up a bit. He's still 170 per game, so not worth owning, but perhaps we know he has the talent to get there. We'll see if he's able to deliver. Aminu, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists on 3 of 5 shooting. Another person who has had fantasy value in the past. Over the last 2 weeks, he's 113th, but his percentages are not great. That's what worries me about him. So far this year, though, it's 83% from the free throw line, so that has been holding up, and 45% from the field. I just don't know if that will continue to hold up going forward. Off the bench, Evan Turner, 23 minutes, Zach Collins, 17 minutes, Stauskas, 15, and Seth Curry, 14 minutes. Not much off the bench. Turner, Zach Collins, 2 guys who are streamable when they're good handcuffs for the Harkless and for Nurkic. Oh, I forgot to mention Nurkic. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists on 8 of 12 shooting, 4 of 6 from the line. He's been a solid 56th overall in 8 cat per game basis. I think that's about where he's going to hold. CJ McCollum 63rd in an 8 category basis, and that is lower than what he was certainly drafted at. Over the last 2 weeks, he is 38th though, and I don't think this team can be successful without a healthy usage of CJ McCollum and a very productive CJ McCollum as well. So I think this 38 over the last 2 weeks is more indicative of what he's going to do rest of season versus 63. I don't know if he'll get much higher than that, but I think if he finishes somewhere in the 40s, I would not be surprised. Over to the LA Clippers side, Tobias Harris, strong night, 39 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist on 15 of 22 shooting, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 3-pointers and a steal. Danilo Gallinari, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 6 of 16 from the field, 8 of 8 from the line, 2 3-pointers, and no defensive stats. Gortat played 10 minutes. That's even fewer than normal, and did not do a single thing. He did get 1 assist, but no rebounds, no points, no free throw attempts, no steals, a block. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a good scoring night, 24 points on 9 of 15 shooting, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 or 5 from the line, 2 3-pointers, 2 turnovers, no defensive stats. Avery Bradley, my gosh, this guy played 30 minutes and did not score. Did have a rebound, did not have an assist. Just hanging out on the wing, in there for his defense, I guess, but this team gave up 131 points. And I'm not sure who he was guarding on the wing, but anyway, it's just a very disappointing night for him as well. And seasons for him since his days in Boston, and fantasy relevancy. Patrick Beverley played 31 minutes, had a double-double, 10 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 or 6 from the line, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Montrezl Harrell was ejected after playing 27 minutes, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 8 shooting, 7-8 from the line. That's really good for him. He has been struggling from the line this year, and a steal. Over the course of the season, Tobias Harris has kind of returned value that what we expected, 34th on a per-game basis in 8 category leagues. Gallinari 39th. I thought he'd be more around 50th until he got hurt, so this is even better than I expected. This offense has been playing at a much higher pace and value than I expected. Harrell, 99th on the season. I think he can finish. At one point he was really high in the charts. I think he'll finish somewhere inside of 100. I think probably closer to 70 or 80 would be my guess. Lou Williams, 106th. He is still out, though, so this team has been desperately need him back tonight. Not in scoring, though, so much. He's expected to come back right after Christmas on the 26th of December. Shai Gilgeous, 132nd overall in ACAT. I know he has issues with the three-pointer, only makes a half a three-pointer a game. Other than that, he doesn't really assist for a point guard, less than 3 assists a game, but his skill set is still so good. I am okay with taking a chance on a guy with a good skill set who's going to develop as the season goes on rather than a guy who is perhaps 30 ranks higher, because between 100 and 130, the difference is not that much in terms of actual value you get. It's just the ordinal rankings are big. There's so many people clustered there. So I think Shai Gilgeous can continue to get better and will as the season goes on. He will, of course, have some off nights, but like Jaren Jackson Jr., he's got a lot of talent and he's got the opportunity, and I think he will continue to improve. So I'd rather have him than someone who is hovering around 105, 110, but has nowhere to go in terms of skill improvement. Anyway, that is my final take on this team, and I will sign off for tonight. Please hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @ballwithneil, BALLWITHNEIL. If you are interested in getting coffee, you are certainly aware that we are now sponsored by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company, a product I soon hope to try very soon, with plenty of time to do so over the next couple weeks. And that's it for tonight's slate. We'll be back tomorrow night. We got 4 games. I think Adrian can probably join me for all those games so we can get 2 people's insights. And we'll talk to you then.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.